Today we are bourbon hunting the Washington, D.C. area.
But a little birdie told me that you were hunting something.
Best prices in all of DC.
Okay, this is the strangest liquor store I've ever seen in my entire life. Let's have some conversation and see what happened. I'm gonna try to do this off camera. All of the freaking whiskey in the known universe. Just did that. All right, today we are bourbon hunting the Washington, D.C. area. Now, I'm outside of D.C. We're over here in Maryland somewhere. I wanted to get to this place. It came highly recommended on our Maryland hunt, but it's like so far south that we couldn't make it work trying to hunt in the Baltimore area. So I just added it as the first stop on our D.C. tour. We've got our tour guide today. Introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about what got you into bourbon.
My name's Chris Harris. I don't know, it was really just people, really, you know, who you're sharing with, and some fellow YouTube channels also got me into it, so it's always been a good time.
Any particular bottle you're hoping to find today?
Ooh, it's tough in the DC market. You'll find bottles, it's just, are you willing to pay for it is the question.
Something interesting is all you're looking for. I want to see if we can't do a little unicorn shopping, and I got my friend Troy joining us over here as well. You've been into bourbon forever.
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Too long.
Any bottle you're hoping to find?
I'd love something Heaven Hill. I mean, my favorite drinker is Elijah Craig 18, so if I can find one of those at a reasonable price, I'll grab it.
We are stopping here first at S&W Lottery Liquors. Hey, how are you, TJ?
Hey, TJ. Kevin, nice to meet you,
Kevin.
brother. Nice to meet you.
This your place?
Yes, sir.
What's the bourbon scene like here?
Same as everywhere else, high demand. I've been noticing it's starting to slack off a little bit, though. Buffalo Trace just sits on the shelf, you know. I've been actually just throwing Blanton's on the shelf, too, from time to time. Yeah, the craze is not like it was about 2 years ago.
Right.
You know, but it's still a big demand. It's still a big part of my business, though. Barrel picks is where I see it's going to. People are hunting more barrel picks than they are hunting the allocated stuff. But, I mean, of course, everybody's still...
Well, they're easier to find, I guess. You do a lot of barrel picks here?
We do a lot. We probably got about 30 or so this year we did. We actually have Penelope American Light Whiskey coming in, Penelope Architect. We should have our Knob Creek pick coming in tomorrow. We did just get in a Wilderness Trail a couple weeks ago. The Yellowstone and the Rebel, all those have been here for about 2 weeks now.
Dude, that's a lot of picks. I mean, it's not a lot of square footage.
Yeah, small store, you know, but we've been here for 54 years.
Okay. I'm assuming you haven't owned it for 54 years.
No, actually, my grandfather started this place. Nice. Yeah, he started this place, and then he retired, and my dad took over in the mid-'80s, and then I came up here probably about 2000.
Are those Starlight's picks?
Yeah, those are all Starlight picks. So I always go to the distilleries. I don't like doing the mail-in orders and stuff like that. I mean, sometimes you have no choice, especially with like Buffalo Trace sometimes. But if I can go pick one, like we actually did just go pick an Antique Weller pick for the store.
So you got a 107 pick coming.
Yeah, but they said it should be here by Christmas. But I don't know. Last year we did Buffalo Trace and we did it in March. And we didn't get it until like Christmas.
I assume if you're getting an antique pick, you're selling a lot of Fireball.
We saw a lot of Fireball. But a little birdie told me that you were hunting something.
So you knew we were coming? You got a call ahead? I know this place was highly recommended. I'm hunting all sorts of things. What did the birdie tell you I'm looking for?
But the guy said, hey, I know he's been hunting one of these.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
Yeah, we got a lot of store picks. If y'all want to do any tasting, we can do some
we could do tastings.
Wilderness Trail has done a beautiful job mixing the science of bourbon. They're doing incredible things. I think, the distillery was way advanced for its time, and I think a lot of new distilleries coming out want to be like Wilderness Trail because they have a lot of great things coming out of there.
Yeah, we went out there.
That's nice. Put the effort into selling it. Because that's a nice bottle. I mean, honestly, the best Wilderness Trail I've ever had. I mean, I haven't drank a ton of their stuff, but that's just a nice caramel bottle.
This Rebel proof, this one, so they used to do cast strengths, now they do full proofs. Yeah. They go to 120. Last year we had a 124 proof. Yellowstone, here's our Pursuit. Here's your favorite Ambriana. Mm-hmm. Double Oaked we got from Starlight. This is the Honey Rye.
I think I just bought a barrel of that. I bought a barrel of honey something from them. I don't know. We were at Starlight last Friday as of shooting this video. I could not remember what all we bought. And so I got the sheet yesterday of everything we bought. We bought 11 barrels. I'm glad for the 11 barrels. They're all different. They're all interesting. They're all unique, but might have been a little too much.
Yeah, we've always told ourselves whenever we go to Starlight, do not have anybody else on the manifest for that day. Because you're going to be there for a while. Here's the Rebel.
120 proof wheater. With Rebel, for me, you get a lot more spicy nuttiness than you would expect on a wheater. Yeah, we're not going to try all of these. We're going to have to start getting a little more selective.
I would like to try this.
Okay, I would like to try that. Let's try the Pursuit here for sure. I just bought a double oaked here. We can skip that one.
So here's a Honey Rye. Yep, we're going down. We're going down for Bourbon Fest.
Oh, that one's dusty, dry,
yeah, definitely.
sweet. Like, there's a lot going on. That one's complicated.
The last one I had from Starlight was nowhere near as honey as this.
Yeah, the one we bought, I don't remember it being as honey as that one.
Did you want to go down the pursuit?
Yes, gotta support those guys. What'd you think about the Pursuit?
Yeah, it's good. I love the butterscotch note and
Okay.
the one at the stores. Like, I wish I could have that every day as a sipper. They don't have the double oak that much up here. It's like gone
Batch
instantly.
3 just came out and we got to try it the other day. They also did a double oak rye. Double oak rye was fantastic, but batch 3 on the double oak bourbon still didn't have as much butterscotch as that
Does it?
batch 1 that they did.
A lot of double oaks are just, they more go like oak char, like sweetness, but they went a butterscotch route, which is just very not typical.
Unusual, yeah. Batch 1, fantastic. A lot of our group tried batch 2 and liked it better.
Right.
I did not, but the reason batch 3's out is because we bought 600 bottles of batch 2.
You said you tried batch 1
I
though?
loved it. I got like a couple bottles at the house. It's fantastic.
When we were the first time we went down there, they still had a bunch of it there. We actually grabbed a case of it, you know, because I was like, oh, this is a one-off here. You know, it seems like always anything that's a first release, it seems like it's always the best.
Well, they got to figure out how to recreate that magic, because that was a hype-worthy bottle. And the other ones are good bottles. Like batch 2's a good bottle. Batch 1's like, okay, keep putting this out.
He told me it was a special type of stave they had to use. They had to sit outside, air dry for like 36 months. He said, Ryan told us a quick story on how they did it, because I asked him, how did you all get so much butterscotch in that? And it's actually from the wood. I mean, to me, it tastes like you just opened the barrel and dumped them little Weathers butterscotch things in there, because it was just so much butterscotch. Well, nice meeting you guys.
I appreciate
y'all coming in. Enjoy the unicorn, brother.
Yes, sir.
Definitely a pleasure, man.
Hey, this is awesome. I've been looking for this one for a while. I should have known when I walked in and the owner came right out and introduced himself that one of our guides in a previous hunt had highly recommended this place. Apparently let him know we were going to be coming, but I'll take that for Russell's 15.
As we've aged, I've come to enjoy the finer things in life. Spending a little time with our family, taking a Sunday afternoon drive in the Lincoln Continental, or having a nice bourbon sitting around a fall campfire. But we've also become more aware of the fact that we're getting old. I'm getting old. She looks great. But I'm trying to take better care of my nutritional health. And that's why I was glad when AG1 reached out to sponsor this video, because Jill's been taking AG1 for years, and I've started raiding her stock just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to take 5 or 6 supplements, so I just take this in the morning. I've just seen that it really helps me have more energy. It gets all my vitamins and minerals that I need for the day in case we're on the road, we're doing a bourbon hunt, and because we're not eating that great usually. I love it.
And that's why AG1 is such a great option for those of us that are looking for balanced nutrition that is science-driven and third-party tested to ensure safety. One serving of AG1 daily combines the power of many different supplements, including multivitamins, probiotics, greens, and superpower foods, vitamin B complex, and vitamin C tablets, making this the most convenient way to support your foundational nutrition needs. AG1 is recommended by top health experts and athletes and continuously improved since 2010. And the AG1 formulation is also vegan, gluten-free, non-dairy, and has no artificial sweeteners. Right now, AG1 is offering a surprise bonus limited edition gift on top of the welcome kit when you first subscribe. It won't last long, so head to drinkag1.com/Brewzle and check it out while supplies last. Just gonna drink it all. Is that enough for 2 people, or did you?
No.
Just enough for you?
It's really just mine, so don't take it all.
You also notice I sniff it just like it was a bourbon.
Yeah, just like it was a bourbon.
I don't know. I can't drink anything these days
Without
sniffing
smelling
it.
it. I know.
It's a weird habit we've gotten
weird.
into. But thanks
But this is
AG1
really
for
good.
sponsoring this video. Let's get back to that bourbon hunt.
Next stop, still in Maryland. We still haven't made it to DC. I promise we're going to, but this was the most recommended store out of all the stores that were recommended by Discord and Patron, and that's Esquire Liquor.
This is actually my home store. This is where I get all my
This
stuff.
is your place. Okay, so we're not gonna get mugged here. You got us.
Best prices in all of DC.
Do they know we're coming?
I gave them a 10-minute heads up.
Okay, well, I'll take that, I guess. Little Bourbon. Have you tried this Bourbon yet? The Knob Creek Bourbon?
No, I saw it the last place.
It's okay. It's not great. I don't think it's as good as the bourbon or the rye. Have you tried it?
Yes.
You like it?
It was a little confusing.
That's an old school Weller bottle.
Yeah, this is Jeffers Creek. So they took the old Weller bottles, and I mean, even the label's kind of similar. I have not had the Whistle Pig 25. Have you had the Whistle Pig 25?
I have not.
There's a rare hair up there if you want one. I know you've been looking for one of those. $600 right there. That's MSRP on that bottle. You like Whistle Pig?
I do enjoy Whistle Pig.
Okay. I think their higher end stuff's really good, but the price is always silly.
You guys want to try some picks?
You-
We have a Whistle Pig open.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's rock and roll.
Take my own review here. Sway me one way or another.
It's phenomenal for a 6-year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very good 6-year. The one thing Whistlepick does well is complexity.
That's a nice ride.
Yeah, it is good.
So this is our new Elijah Craig pick. We partnered with Bourbon Retriever's YouTube channel, so we all picked it out together.
With you partnered with who?
Bourbon Retriever, their YouTube
Okay.
channels.
That's you? Okay. So you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I know. I didn't want to, to get the red.
You don't want to lead with
I
that?
don't want to lead with it, man. As the day comes out, you got to give more surprises.
What kind of content are you producing?
Reviews, blinds, some hunting. Obviously not as good as yours. You're the premier best, but everything out there. Wherever, just kind of where I feel like it's a nice little side hobby.
It is 130 proof.
You want to try it? Give us your review of your pick.
Okay, sure. I get a lot of sweet notes from this. Heavy sweetness. Something you might closer to the B batch sweetness level you get. It is crazy though how much a barrel pick changes from the pick to when it comes out. I think this sat for like in the barrel another 6-8 months or something like that. But when it first came out, it was like this heavy oak char. But now it's just mellowed in this like nice little sweetness into it.
Yeah, this is like a very soft vanilla, kind of dissipates into an oaky finish. I'm not the biggest fan of Elijah Craig barrel proofs. I don't know why I like Heaven Hill products, but the barrel proofs have oftentimes a Sharpie note to them to me. It just has some sort of harshness with their release. I like this one better. I think it's a little softer vanilla than most of the actual like regular releases I've had. That little harshness comes in just a touch on the finish, but it's not enough to even really be noticeable. So I would like this better than most Elijah Craig barrel proofs. It's a good pick though.
Yeah. You gotta see the tater sticker though.
Stumpy's final stand, and this sounds like a sad story. Are you leading me down a sad story?
Yes.
Did Stumpy die?
He was an icon here in the DC area for the longest time. Around the Tidal Basin, they have all the cherry blossoms, and as you can see, he is not in the best shape.
He's wearing a suit of armor.
You're talking about the tree in the back.
Oh, the tree. So Stumpy is the tree, not the
Yeah,
dog.
yeah,
Now I'm confused. Why is there a dog in the picture?
Bourbon Retriever.
Okay, there you go. Gotcha.
The cherry blossom, the tree. It's a very old tree. Got a lot of hype, and then sadly they killed it this year because they had to do some renovations in the area.
So I thought this was going to be a very sad story about a dog dying.
No,
and instead, you're like, we had firewood. We've been dabbling in a lot of Angel's Envy lately, and I'm not sure if this is the one we tried though. So Angel's Envy is typically port finish, like their normal stuff is port. So this is going to be Oloroso Sherry. It's going to be quite a bit different than the normal Angel's Envy releases.
It's 116 proof.
What do you think of that? That's quite a bit different than the port finish, that's for sure.
It's much, much, much different. But I actually like it.
I think I tried one of these. Wasn't this pick, obviously. I think I tried one of these yesterday, but we tried a lot of whiskey yesterday, so I don't recall.
This is our second high rye pick. Last year we did their own juice, which was 4.5 years of a weeded bourbon cash strand.
Just did that.
Definitely edit that out.
No, that's going in the video right there, my friend. We don't edit that kind of stuff out. I'm holding the camera. I was paying attention to the camera. I didn't even see the other glass. That was totally my fault. But on the bright side, the whiskey's good. One glass down already. Try that bare knuckle.
Are you guys into tequilas?
We tried one of those KOs yesterday. That one's better.
So this is RY3, 14 years, light whiskey, 99 corn, 1% barley.
It's good. It's not what I'm looking for. Yeah. Like typically with light whiskey, it's just a caramel bomb. Yeah. And I think it's really interesting for finishing. I think you could do a lot of interesting finishes. That's where Starlight got me. They had one that was finished in something that was really, really good. It's one note. It's one really good note, but it's one note. And I want just a little bit of complexity on what I'm drinking. RY3 light whiskey, pretty freaking tasty. 14 years old. What's this bottle with the horse over here? Oh, that's the Beyonce whiskey? Yeah. I gotta get a bottle of that so I can review it on the live stream or something. She went too fancy with the bottle. I'm sure she did fine. It's $80 though, that's the problem.
I really want to try that Whistlepick 25.
Not the last drop.
That's the one where you gotta like be in a club and spend a bunch of money to get and it's like the last drop out of something. Tell me about it. Somebody was telling me about this.
Last drop, as far as I know, they acquire a lot of different aged barrels from different distilleries. They'll blend it together, and this is their first Kentucky whiskey one. So they don't want to disclose it where they're getting it from and which
Well, they don't want to disclose that because that might break the mystique of why it's $4,000. So I appreciate it, man. The samples were awesome. Y'all got great barrel picks. Yes, sir. It's nice to meet you. You do pretty good here. Like, this is your store.
This is my store, yeah.
Okay.
It's
So-
just great systems.
The
Great
points
price.
add up, you get a lot of bottles.
A lot of points, and then also just the prices. Like I can't beat it. Like, they're cheaper than Virginia. They're like $5 cheaper than like almost everywhere else. So
Here, fill out your name on those and win something for me. Just like, no, just bend a little edge or something. That way they're more likely to grab it. Like it stands up. Give it 3D. Make it 3D. Like bend it in half. All right, I owe him a case of Glenn's because I broke one. We're gonna go grab that out of the truck real quick, and then we'll catch up with y'all at the next store. All right, so we are now in Washington, D.C. proper. We have ditched the car. We are walking and or Ubering, so that's gonna limit how many bottles we can obtain. But honestly, we're unicorn hunting anyway, and so far, got a Russell's 15 and I bought Beyonce's bottle. So mixed results on the unicorn status thus far, but who knows, that Beyonce bottle may be the best thing ever. We are now over at 1 West Dupont Liquors. What's up, man?
Good to see you again, brother.
Yes, sir. And it's got all the Bourbon County stouts here, going all the way back. 2018, 2015, historic barrel entry right there. One of my favorite Woodfords. Little baby Weller. Never seen a little baby Weller like that. Okay. That's the one you were telling me about. That's the Mac Daddy right there.
Magnus pick.
I saw one of those in the case the other day and I didn't even know what it was. So when they're picks, they just do them in the white label like that. There's just so much to look at. I mean, you just got like this Michter's 10 Rise just up there. There's a Redbreast 21 and 27 right there. There you go.
What's your price on the Redbreast 27?
I think 900-ish.
And what's the 21?
$4.99, I believe.
Black Maple Hills over there. Old Van Winkle stuff. Dude, there's too much to even focus on. At this point, it's pretty obvious this is a secondary store on prices for most of this stuff. But even so, even with that, where do you see this much of it? Nowhere. Is that Weller 12 in a tube? Never seen a Weller 12 tube before. John J. Bowman single barrel hanging out down there. $79.95 on a John J. Bowman single barrel. Every Willet OFC, Willet Purple Tops. If you're looking for unicorns, this is definitely the place, but you're gonna have to have a budget for them. I might have to start collecting. Of course, I could never get access to most of these to collect them, but it is impressive just seeing them all in one place. Like, dude, I don't even know what some of those Willets up there with the colors are. I mean, you got freaking Al Young Four Roses right here. Most of this stuff you see here and there, but
It's one of the perks of living in DC. They're allowed to buy from individuals.
okay.
That's how you can get
Collections
like this.
Just go back to make sure I didn't miss. There's so much to look at that you're gonna miss things. Like the bag for the old Weller Antique 107 there. 23-year-old old rip box set of some sorts. The Kings of Kentucky, didn't even see those sitting there. I don't even know what to try to buy. Can you hone in on something? Like you get a lot of nice
No,
ones.
I've already honed in. Booker's 25th.
So this is what you should get, in my opinion. So this is a distillery that closed already, but they were using a lot of source barrels. We did a ton of barrel picks with them with like older MGP, some wheated whiskey that they finished in Calvados barrels, some other kind of fun things. And then they did only a handful of barrel picks of their own distillate. I want to say 5. We did 4 of those. Of everything I tried of their own distillate, the single barrel rye that they did, I thought was the tits. It was the best one that was out there. That's what you should get.
Now, normally we're looking for small distilleries that make good stuff to highlight them and help them.
Sure.
They're done already. It's interesting because I'd never get another one of those. Do you know what happened to all their barrels they had?
Yeah, great question. So we were actually going to possibly buy them for our brand, but they had so many, and unfortunately the pricing didn't work out. They wanted, in my opinion, tomorrow's prices for today's barrels. So the numbers didn't work out. I do know that they sold them. I want to say they went to a broker, but I'm not 100% sure which.
District made, grain to glass, rye. Bought a lot of ryes because obviously stuff around Maryland, like ryes are super popular. Distilled and bottled by 1/8 Street Distilling, Washington, D.C. We're hunting for unicorns, but technically that's a unicorn because you will never get another bottle of it. So things that just don't exist anymore are unicorns. We bought a bunch of barrels from Wheat State Distilling in Kansas. Those are all unicorns because where else are you going to get something that was made from that producer? Almost nowhere, because they don't exist, especially not stuff that's 6 to 8 years old, because they never put out a product that was 6 to 8 years old. Everything they put out was like 1.5, and then they went out of business, and those barrels have been sitting there for 6 years. He was telling a really interesting story, but he was name dropping, obviously, like you got a name drop.
So I picked up a Rhetoric 21. This is for a friend of mine who is actually needing one for his collection. But the orphan barrels came from Bernheim. So Bernheim was purchased by Heaven Hill roughly a few years ago.
After their place burned down.
So Bernheim was purchased by Heaven Hill. Well, there was barrels left behind by Diageo. And one day Heaven Hill called Diageo and said, come pick up these barrels. Well, those barrels happen to be the Orphan barrels, and that's what they nicknamed them. So a new brand was created out of it.
So what happens when those barrels are all gone? Do they just keep finding new orphaned barrels?
I don't know the name. So my favorite one, hands down, is the Barterhouse 20. If you have a chance to try the Barterhouse 20, try it. Forged oak is phenomenal too. Now both of them are going to be oakier, but one of the more recent ones, and I cannot think of the name. There's one of them where they mix Barterhouse and forged oak, which leads me to believe that they might be out of Barterhouse at this point. So I do know that whichever one it is, I've got a bunch of them.
I thought Fable and Folly was really nice. Low proof.
Oh, you know what?
Really
Fable and Folly, that's it.
Okay.
Fable and Folly is the one where they've mixed the two. This.
Okay. Are you drinking that or are you just looking at it?
Absolutely.
10-year, 3 months, batch 2014-something or another.
The viscosity on that, how it just lingers and ramps up.
Phenomenal, isn't it?
Okay. Definitely the best Bookers I've ever had. Have you ever had the 100-year tribute Elmer T. Lee?
No.
Dude, that's like a BTAC bottle to me. Like, it's that good. Like, it's that good. I'm not a big fan of Elmer T. Lee. That 100-year tribute, somebody put that in a sample kit and sent it to me. And, dude, it was out of this world fantastic. Look at this. That's what we need right here. It's like a party in a can. I kind of want that. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of want that. All the spring banks. Like there's an 18 spring bank. I just bought the 10 and the 15. But then what is like local barley spring banks? I don't even freaking know. 319 on an 18-year spring bank. Let's have some conversation, see what happened. I'm gonna try to do this off camera. Let's see if we can't find something. So we did pick up a couple of bottles in there. We're hunting for unicorns. We're trying to find hard to find stuff. And I've never owned this bottle, the Charter Oak French Oak right here. One of my favorite French Oak stave finishes. Haven't been a big fan of French Oak stave finishes until I tried this one. So I wanted to grab that, was able to negotiate the price down pretty hard. I think I got more than a fair deal on that one, and got a little Springbank 18 here, which I know I'm gonna hate. Like, I am buying bottles that I don't even like because I know folks that'll come over to the house will want to try them. I did like the mouthfeel. Like, the 10 had some interesting things going on there, but the flavors were just not for me. But again, I'm going to name him to Discord. I think he's coming down for our event in October. It'd be nice to be able to share this bottle with him. I'm sure he will enjoy it. The store obviously has secondary prices, but it's a different kind of store too. And a lot of folks get mad because these liquor stores get a bottle in at $40 wholesale and it's supposed to retail for $60. And they put $300, $400, $500 on the bottle because it's desirable. This store's a little different in that they're allowed to buy secondary. So one of the reasons they have such a huge selection here for folks to buy is that they can actually buy from private parties on the secondary market. And so a lot of these bottles they have actually purchased secondary for secondary prices, knowing that someone around here is going to have more money than time and is just going to want to spend the money to have that bottle to round out their collection or to, you know, celebrate a special event, or maybe they're just fancy and have a lot of money and want to drink expensive whiskey. So a little different scenario than folks that just mark up whiskey. The normal shelf products here, we're all actually pretty freaking reasonable. So if you just come in for a normal bottle of whiskey, pretty reasonable. Even some of the slightly allocated stuff, like some of the Weller products, had a little markup on them, but I think you could negotiate those down. So overall, I mean, cool just to see a crazy selection like that in a store and be able to negotiate a decent price on a couple of cool bottles I can add to my own selection. We're gonna move on to the next store. I think we're gonna go grab some quick lunch, then we're gonna catch up with y'all in the next store. So the next place we're going is apparently inside this office building right here.
Michael.
Hey, TJ. Nice to meet you.
you.
Yes, sir. So it's a co-working liquor place.
You nailed it, buddy.
I'm still doubting we're gonna find liquor.
I'll give you the quick tour.
Okay.
This is everything in stock.
Okay, this is the strangest liquor store I've ever seen in my entire life. So are you doing mostly online sales or?
Nope, everything in person. But most importantly, it's all open next door to try before you buy.
It's my kind of place. What's that Woodford up to your top left there?
Oh, that's just the Masters.
Yeah, but a historic barrel entry. One of my favorites.
These are cheaper than I would expect.
Dude, aren't those normally like $400 or $500? Yeah. Now there's like two different versions. Are there three?
Well, no, there's one that was $250, one that was $500. This is $169, which still doesn't sound right. And this is $219. If this is $169, I'm buying it. This is actually a really good bottle. Do you have the gold seagrass? You do. Okay, and that's $219. Okay.
I just sold my last dovetail.
Okay, so that's not the dovetail. Okay,
Correct.
That's what was messing me up because I thought those were supposed to be $250 and $500. The
So long-
Dovetail's 250 and
So long story short, they cut the prices,
yes.
and from my understanding is that they will no longer be made, and they will be annual releases, like every other company is doing now.
So they'll still be made. They'll just be annual. They
Releases.
won't be regularly released.
Correct.
Okay.
And so I believe only it's going to be a gray now, and I'm told I can no longer get Dovetail in gold or Seagrass, and my distributor marked them down, and they were like, we're done.
This is a very unusual liquor store. Okay, very very strange. I mean, it's great though. No retail rent to support, I guess, right? Helps keep the prices in check.
And I don't have a rich father, so I had to start with the smallest office I could find.
Yeah.
And that's what this place allowed me to do. And that's really why I'm standing in this co-working space, is because that's all I could afford.
If you're not full time, when are you open? Like, what are your hours?
So right now, by appointment during the week,
Okay.
but walk in anytime, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 12 to 6 p.m. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are my office hours.
We got comfy chairs here.
When you go to your shelf, are you grabbing a bourbon or a rye?
Typically a bourbon. I do like some ryes, but usually, I'm getting into more ryes, but I'm very particular on my ryes. I'm a little more open to bourbons.
I assume you're a cash strength type of guy.
Of course.
My favorite right now is definitely this Ragged Branch Cowboy cut.
I think I own that bottle, but let's try it. I've only had one sip out of my bottle, and that's been months ago. About what I remember. A little raisin flavor, like dark fruits. It's nice. It's not usually what I'm going for. I could go down some unique paths, but that has a lot of what I would consider to be barrel impact on it, right? And I like oak, but I don't like when it turns like tobacco or leather or, like spicy pepper. So a little more classic bourbon, a little more fruit forward type of stuff. Your Green Rivers, obviously your Buffalo Trace stuff is where I'm going to typically live a little more. That one is definitely unique. It's a good bottle. I'm glad I have it on my shelf to share with folks.
I know it's sourced. I know it's made by the same people as Very Old St. Nick and Waddy Boone. And if you don't want to finish, just talk.
That's nice though.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a nice bottle.
I'm just not a light whiskey fan.
I'm not either. Just traditionally, it's still nice.
Have you had this yet?
I don't think so. I want to say somebody may have given me a sample at some point, but I do not recall.
So this is definitely the hottest thing in the building, as well as one of my favorites and underappreciated bourbons of last year. Totally underrated 18-year, I believe, MGP, 99% corn, 1% barley, American light whiskey at 71%.
That's solid as well. Definitely got some heat behind it. A light whiskey, it's all one note. It's good, it's just one note. I tend to like bourbon because it's got a little more subtlety and nuance about it.
Have you had the new Elijah Craig barrel proof?
The B batch, I have not tried that.
No, it's only 3 points off. C923, so it's 130. That was only 133. It's right there, and obviously 10 times easier to find.
I don't buy every one of these batches. I can't say if it's back to form or whatever, but as far as Elijah Craig barrel proofs go, I like that one. I like the business model.
Thank you.
DC's different. It's like spirits wise. We went over, like the normal stores we went to this morning were all technically in Maryland. They weren't in DC. So this is our third place in DC, and they're all completely, I mean, you've got the secondary stores. They're buying it at secondary. It's sitting on the shelf so you can get it. But then you come to a place like this that's got, honestly, some really nice bottles in there. So, some high-end stuff that is a little hard to find. That historic barrel entry Woodford. I've been looking for another one of those for a while. Great selection, but it's in an office building. But then everything is to try. Like, this is a really cool store. You just developed this model out of necessity.
Necessity and desire. I was so furious that I would never be able to afford all this. That I would never be able to try it if I went to all these restaurants and I went to all the bars and I ran around all of town and tried to figure out how to taste everything. It'd be like a mission to Mars. And I was like, well, why isn't there a store that lets us try before we buy? If you do it at heavy volume and you put some business behind it, I think it would work. Start small and every week open 1 or 2, 3 bottles, and 3 years in, you're up to 400. That's how I built the ambiance. And that people would want to come as a destination to sit down and try, to explore new things they don't want to necessarily take a flyer on. It probably cost me $1 of what you guys drank right now. But now you're sure. So many people come in here and say, oh my God, I've always looked at that bottle. I've always wondered, but it's $200. Because none of these people would have bought that without knowing.
Right.
It's too much money. I would have never done it either.
So many $200+ bottles I pass on all the time because it's like, I'll wait till somebody tells me or somebody has a sample of it.
That's kind of how it worked with Disco 11. Everyone's like, 10 was okay. It was good. But should I really spend the $150? And it's like, just try it. It was a banger. Everyone bought it.
I would assume with this model, though, most stores get their allocation because they're slinging a bunch of Fireball. And you don't have that just,
Correct.
I mean, lower end product retail customer here as much to really, you know, you're not gonna sell a ton of Fireball to try to get some Buffalo Trace allocation.
Absolutely. They won't, like I said, they just won't even talk to me. Luckily enough, some of the distributors are very fair, and some of them are supportive of smaller operations. You know, they give me one or two here and there of everything, and that's very kind of them because I, like you said, I don't sell whatever low end stuff they have, but you know, I think they see what I'm doing and are very supportive of that. So.
That's the Seagrass. We bought a Madeira apricot rum finish from Good Times that is actually very similar to that Seagrass, but I think all the flavors are a little more intense on
This
it.
barrel is transparent, but not fully. Their labels say up to. So this Seagrass says written on it 16 years. So that's 16. This one, 20-year blend featuring our oldest and rarest stocks. So they don't actually give a full age statement on this gold or that gray or the gray label now.
For $169, phenomenal bottle.
Which one was I just drinking?
That was the one I just gave you.
This is the gray label, was the one you just got? Okay, that's good stuff, yeah. We ended up snagging that historic barrel entry proof, which I don't usually like low proof whiskey, but I really enjoyed that one. And I had two, and a friend really wanted one, so I ended up letting them have one, and I regretted it since I opened my bottle. So glad to have a backup of that. Troy grabbed some Seagrass. Overall, really good haul here from an office building. We are going to head to Jack Rose's next. I hear it's the best bourbon bar in the DC area. We're gonna give it a try. It's been a long day. We've been going all freaking day, but now we're finally at Jack Rose, which I was told was a must if we're gonna be here in DC. There is food here, which is good because lots of whiskey and only a little Chipotle for lunch. So we probably need to upgrade our food game here a little bit. And all of the freaking whiskey in the known universe wrapping around this room right here. Overwhelming selection again. We've run into a lot of overwhelming selections here in DC, and this is just another one. All right, we have ordered some appetizers. Honestly, the chicken skin's crazy.
I told him to just fry up the skin, none of that pesky chicken to get in the way.
Lemon, like you wouldn't think this would be like something spectacular, but obviously the chicken skin, you go to KFC, it's the best thing. All the appetizers are delicious. The pour prices are definitely a little bit tourist pour prices, but they make a nice old fashioned. I'm about to try these fried green tomatoes. I said I wouldn't order any. Like, I'm from Alabama. You get fried green tomatoes in a McDonald's in Alabama, but you can't really, but like, we'll try them. Like, they're fine. Whatever that sauce is, not fried green tomato worthy there. Pretty good, but like, Meemaw gonna make a better fried green tomato for sure. All right, I think we're calling it here with our hunt in Washington, D.C. Jack Rose was a fun time. We liked the appetizers so much, we just rolled through the whole appetizer menu. We did order the chicken skins twice. I'm gonna be straight. One time came with lemon on it. Fantastic, 10 out of 10. The second time, not near as good. So make sure they put the lemon, whatever the lemon seasoning, lemon flavoring, if they squeezed the lemon, I don't know what they did. First time, really, really good. Probably the best thing I had here. Had a great time in Washington, D.C. Had some great guests and guides to help us here.
Oh, it was a great day. Can't say enough good things. Make sure you like, subscribe, all things for Brewzle. Had a great time today.
And Bourbon Retriever?
Yeah, Bourbon Retriever. You want to go check out my channel. I'm sure it'll be down in the links or something will pop up on the screen, but come check it out.
Honestly, it's been an amazing day. Truly appreciate how bourbon has brought us all together. So thank you all.
Appreciate y'all watching all the way to the end. We only went to a handful of stores, but man, we spent a ton of time in them. We added a bourbon bar here, Jack Rose at the end of it. Huge selection, We did stick to the old fashions, but my thought for the day is just trying new things, right? Coming to new places, meeting new people. Variety is the spice of life, but it's a variety of just like new things, trying to always interject something new and exciting into your life, like those chicken skins we had for dinner here tonight. Catch y'all in the next one. Hey B-Team, are you ready to look fresh for family get-togethers this holiday season? Do you want your friends and family to know you have a selection, not a collection? You know Uncle Ted watches the channel as well. Instead of listening to all those rehashed stories from high school, you can actually talk about bourbon. If you want to rep the Brewzle community, then listen up. We're gonna change how we're doing merch just a little bit. The Brewzle team is dropping a massive amount of all new merch to keep our Brewzle community looking their absolute best. We're releasing 5 new t-shirt designs, hats, leather coasters, koozies, and a members only kit from Aged in Ore. Now, whether you're looking for some new gear promoting your love of bourbon or a gift for a bourbon lover in your life, then be ready when we launch on October 19th. Be sure to grab some new Brewzle gear on launch day because every one of these is in limited supply.